Hey friends, TUXX here. It's been a week since I got the new Sony headphones. I wanted to do just a quick little follow-up video on a few things which I thought was interesting, being a one-week owner, and a few problems too, okay? I will have a link for this headphones down below, so be sure and click that link to get yours at the best price, okay? Now, first off, after having it for a week, I'm loving it. I've been using it with my Sony player. I have a lot of videos on this, so you can check those out in my video queue down below. But first off, I mean, it sounds fantastic, okay? Let me just get that out of the way. The bass is excellent. The treble is pronounced, but not overly trebly. It doesn't really, too much treble is a bad thing. Like, a lot of people love treble, sure. When you EQ, you usually have treble up a little bit, but too much of it can be a bad thing. But this does it just right, actually. It's nice. It creates good separation for the music, and yet at the same time, it's not too tinny, Now, the case itself has held up very well. I have used this every day, and it's kept up very nicely. I do worry a little bit about the cloth nature of it, that, if a stain gets on here, the stain may not come off easily at all, but the way it kind of collapses and stuff is very nice for actually fitting in backpacks and such. Now, opening it up, I do kind of wish there was a little thing that said, like, top and bottom. I know that this is the top now, but sometimes if you're flipping around a backpack or something really quickly, it can be easy to get a little confused. And of course, the bottom is thicker than the top, and that's how I've kind of recognized which one is which, and it does have a line here too, and you can see on the back there is no line, but it's just something like maybe if it said Sony or something, it was the top. Just a thought, I haven't really used the nylon strap, the little ring here, but it is nice it has it, okay? Now, flipping it open here, boop, you can see that it does have some fingerprints and stuff on it. These have been heavily used. I do like the little storage compartment a lot still. I have used both the wired and wireless functions on the headset, and I like them both, but I have noticed something, and boy, like, I'm almost questioning my own, like, musical audiophile sanity on this, but I know every instinct in me tells me that the best way to listen to HD music, of course, is with a cord, okay? But on this particular pair of headphones, okay, if you listen to it with Bluetooth, it sounds pretty damn good. And the thing is that there is some functions which are only available if you use it wirelessly, okay? And that is something which is causing me to question and sometimes go off and on, sometimes using cord and sometimes not using a cord. And it sounds great both ways. I will say, if you have this headset, before I dive deeper into this conversation, which is probably a conversation for another video, let me know if you use this corded or not corded, okay? And why, okay? Because again, there is features that can be done one way but not the other, depending upon if you have a cord plugged in or not, okay? The headset itself is incredibly comfortable. I have noticed one weird thing when you put in the case a little bit. Sometimes this side here I have to kind of pull up a little bit to get it to fit snugly. So that's one weird thing. Maybe it's just my case. I don't know, but I've noticed that when you're putting this in, sometimes it goes in nicely, but you have to kind of pull this back a little bit to get that to be really snug and tight in there. And of course, you want it to be nice and tight. Now, as far as the comfort level goes while using the headset, it's great. I mean, it looks like they're small cones. Like, these are pretty small compared to some, like, audiophile headphones or whatever, but they cover my ears very nicely. I have a pretty big head, so like an adult male head, and so, like, they do a great job. I don't ever think, boy, I wish these were bigger, or smaller. I think they really feel just right, and the fact that these are adjustable, they go way out and way in, is really nice, I have had some times where I wish it would turn both this way, like when you're wearing them, this is the way they go, is out. Or over the years, there are times I wish I could flip it back the other direction, and you can see it only goes about 75% back the other way. And I guess there is some good to that, is that if you're wearing them, if you're trying to figure out, like, in the dark, what is left and what is right, that if your head is right here, and if they're facing outward, that is the correct way. There is a little red R too, but you can't really see that in the dark particularly. And the way I've become to find the correct size, or the correct direction rather, is just if they're going this way, or if they can't go, because they can only go about 3/4 back, but again, just very, very comfortable. The top part's super comfortable. This part, when I originally unboxed this, you go back to my video, this part here is hard, okay? It has the vegan leather, okay, covering it, and whatever that is, artificial pleather, but it does feel very nice, I will say. But it is hard kind of in this part right here, and I thought maybe that might bug me, but it really didn't. This part here is super duper soft, and the whole leather, everything feels really great. The ear cuffs are nice and foamy. They feel good on your head, and they do extend a good way for adults as well as people who have smaller heads, you know. So it really is really made for everybody. The controls themselves in the dark, I find that sometimes, even though I should kind of know that if you're wearing it, okay, so if they're going out this direction, the one which is, you know, furthest inward is power, and the one that's outward is noise cancellation. But sometimes I have found myself kind of playing with the buttons, trying to figure out what button is what, especially at first, you know. The noise cancellation. The noise cancellation is very, very good. I was amazed at how much it would actually take away sounds in the room. Like if I had the TV blasting, these could pretty much muffle the whole thing, you know, which is pretty shocking, you know. So it's a really good set of headphones for noise cancellation, and the music, of course, sounds very, very good. Now, as far as the app goes, let me go ahead and pull this up here. Now, one thing that is not the problem with the headphones, but I will cover in another video coming up, is insufficient free space, okay? This is a message I'm greeting when I power mine up right now. I have deleted some music to try and make more room, but even though it is 32 gigs, especially when you're putting on like DSF files, you know, high definition audio files, it takes up a lot of space, okay? So I have actually ran out of space for the most part with adding only Tidal is the only app I've added, and I've actually deleted a few things too. You can delete apps you install, which is great. There are probably some apps included when you buy it that you probably shouldn't uninstall, just because it's part of the OS and the general operation of the system. Now, the headphones themselves, I do like the application here a lot. There's a headphone app here, and this is very nice for being able to see. You can connect it just like that. This may not be powered on, so I'm gonna need to hit the power button here real quick because it's been sitting idle in the case. There we go. It should be connecting in a second. The connect is pretty quickly done. You can see here in a second. Looks like it's trying to connect. Let's see, do I have the thing going? So you got the little blue thing going, and there we are. Then now we're connected, okay. It does mention, you know, not having it too loud, etc., etc. You will have no problem enjoying loud music with this particular Walkman and this particular headphones together. Now, one thing which is kind of cool is it does have these like little activities, and it has like little awards you get. Like, check that out. Like, I didn't expect to have like achievements from wearing headphones, but it does make it kind of fun to actually see. Like, it says connected, and it says like I got an award for automatic synchronization. Okay, and like every day I'm kind of getting awards here for, you know, connecting headphones, listening daily, that kind of thing, weekly listener, and there's a lot of ones here I have not done. Now, a lot of the ones I haven't done are related to using it away from home, and most of my listening time actually has been here at home, and I may actually, oh look, adaptive sound, another achievement, so very, very cool. So you can see I'm getting all these different little quests and awards, you know, by using headphones, which again is a clever idea. It does make it fun. I think people like, you know, in the days of PlayStation and Xbox, they like getting achievements for things or whatever. It's a little pat in the back for doing everything, and it does kind of force the user to like try different things and go through tutorials and all that good stuff. And I haven't done a tutorial at all, but you can see I do have quite a few different awards here or whatever, or achievements, so that is kind of fun. But the headphones, they connect very easily is my point. Everything is very good with it, and you can actually do updates. It shows the update version you're on and everything else, which is really good. So I love the fact this feels like it's updating constantly. It's getting better and better. Although right now, just out of the box, it's pretty darn awesome, you know, I have to say. Now, as far as the actual cord goes, of course, we have the two ends here. It comes with a 3.5 cord. The cord is plenty long. I think if you're using this as like a desktop PC headset, it might be a little bit short, but maybe you just use Bluetooth for that. I mean, if you're not listening to music and trying to go for a full HD audio experience, maybe just wireless is fine. But I will say there is some great things in here that you can actually, unfortunately, the headset, if you're using it wired versus wireless, there is some different functions on the NWA 305 that you can't do. Okay, so like right now it's not connected. It's connected, you know, wirelessly. Okay, there's B52s. And if you're actually trying to check out some of the things, you'll see that like this setting does not apply to the actual Bluetooth, you know. And there's quite a few. That's a DC phase linearizer. That one does work with headphones. The vinyl processor does not work with Bluetooth, rather. Clear audio does EQ. My dove is cooing. Sorry about that. You know, you can see a lot of them do work with it, but there are some that don't. Like there's 2 of them that don't. This one here. So when I say don't, I mean they don't work with wireless connections. They need a wired connection to function properly. That's a DC phase linearizer, and then there is a vinyl processor, the 2 that you don't get. So that kind of makes me want to actually use the cord. But the problem is that with the cord, it sounds excellent, but without the cord, it almost sounds even better, you know? And that's a real challenge for me, okay? As someone who likes quality audio, it's like I want to use the cord because everything tells me using the cord is the right thing to do. But then when I actually listen to it with and without cord, because there's these couple extra features that you can't get unless you have it with a cord, sometimes I think it actually sounds better, you know, without the cord. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, think about the combination. Maybe it's something in the way I have it EQ'd or something where it sounds like it's more tuned to be wireless right now, and maybe there's something I need to do. So if you've encountered that, please let me know. But like right now, again, I'm challenged that it sounds great with a cord, of course, but without a cord, it sounds just as good and maybe even a little bit better, okay? And that really has some conflicts in my feelings about should I have a cord or not a cord, you know, because obviously without a cord it's more convenient, but of course everything, you know, tells you should use a cord when you listen to HD music, and you can hear the difference normally. But with this combination of this Walkman and these headphones, it almost sounds better without a cord. Okay, so anyway, that is a dilemma I'm working on. More on that down the road, okay? But just to recap, just a great headset. Again, 1 week, I'm enjoying it. They're going good. Outside, I do, you know, ride a scooter, and I've been tempted to take these on the road, like on my scooter. But even in days like today, it's kind of a little bit, you know, sunny, but it could rain. And if it rains later today, I don't want them to get wet. And so I've been sticking with the earbuds. But I've been tempted to. And of course, some of the achievements on the headset actually have to do with, you know, using it at work, and like they're related to taking it on the road, that kind of thing. And I'd like to get all those achievements, but at the same time, I don't want to damage my headset at all. It does keep track of your listening too, which is kind of interesting how much, like, I listen for 2 hours, you know, it talks about here's the like stay, walk, run, and ride. And I haven't really done a lot of those because generally you can see I use everything at home. Okay. All right, friends, that's all I have for you. 1 week update, loving it. Conflicted over cord or no cord. Again, the link for this is right down below. Okay, so be sure and click that link to get yours. But just a really great sounding pair of headphones. Yes, they do pick up fingerprints quite a bit. Some people have commented on getting some like little ear cuffs for it, which would be good. But again, some of these, especially Bluetooth, you know, I'm doing a lot of touching and raising volumes and that kind of thing, you know. So it's a situation where you do lose a little bit of that functionality for the sake of having like little cups or, you know, like padded or different cute little things on the ears. So that's something I've been thinking about. And some people have told me, put some stickers on those bad boys, and maybe I will down the road, but right now I'm just going with a nice clean block look to them, okay? All right, friends, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.